Okay, so my name is Gowri. I'm going to deal with the CSAT paper. Okay, so do you know anything about the CSAT exam, CSAT paper? Yeah, if I ask anybody what is CSAT, the first thing your reply is CSAT is a qualifying paper. Okay, first let me give you introduction about the CSAT. What is CSAT? And first we talk about CSAT. What is the importance of CSAT and syllabus of CSAT, and also how to prepare for the CSAT exam. Okay, right. First of all, CSAT means that Civil Services Aptitude Test. Civil Services Aptitude Test. Generally, you have prelims exam, right? So you have GS prelims paper 1 and paper 2. So you have two papers in prelims, paper 1 and paper 2. So this GS paper 2 is popularly known as CSAT. Okay, as you said, it is only qualifying paper. But the thing is, most of the student thought that it is a qualifying paper. Just because it is a qualifying paper, most of the students don't give importance to this subject. As a result, so later at one point they realized that importance of CSAT. I have seen that students who scored that 120, 130 plus in GS, but still are unable to clear the CSAT because they don't give enough attention to this paper, right? So we'll talk one by one about the CSAT paper. Yes, the first point is CSAT means the full form of CSAT is Civil Services Aptitude Test. Okay, it is part of your prelims. CSAT is only in the prelims exam. Okay, only in the prelims exam. So next thing is it was actually introduced in the year 2011. Till 2000 before 2011, this was the mathematics or English comprehension, whatever it is there in this syllabus, is actually integral part of prelims. Only from 2011 onwards, so we have a separate paper for this one, CSAT paper. And actually, so why CSAT is in, why UPSC introduced this exam? It clearly mentioned here is, so it actually assess your analytical skills, logical ability skills and logical thinking skills, and also your aptitude skills and your comprehensive skills. Okay, in order to get that, so UPSC introduced this CSAT part. And coming to what is the exam pattern, okay, is it objective or type or a descriptive type, that we'll discuss about. Okay, so you can see that the pattern of the UPSC. Okay, so the pattern of the UPSC, so it is an UPSC CSAT. Okay, so this paper is an objective type, it is MCQ based question. How many questions you have? You have actually 80 questions. In CSAT paper, you have 80 questions. Total 200 marks. Total marks are 200 marks. Okay, which means that each question has 2.5 marks, 2.5 marks. Okay, is there any negative marking? Yes, obviously you have negative marking in this. The negative marking is 0.833. Okay, actually negative marking is 1/3 of the maximum marks for the question. Maximum marks is 2.5, right? So 1/3 into 2.5 means that 0.833 marks. So which means that if you attempt a right question, if you answer a right one, then you will get 2.5. So which means that 2.5 marks. If you make any mistake, so you will lose 0.833 marks, which means that almost all it is closely equal to 1 mark. So that's why you have to focus on the negative marking also, which means that you need, when you are answering it, make sure that it should not be wrong. Okay, so maximum, right, there is a negative marking also. So total how many marks? 200 marks. The duration of the exam is 2 hours. 2 hours means that you have 120 minutes. In this 120 minutes, you have to solve the questions. Okay, but as you know that CSAT is what? CSAT is only qualifying marks, qualifying paper. So which means that if you get minimum marks, minimum required marks, that would be enough. These marks won't count in your final marks, right? Yeah, that is 66 marks. Okay, 33% is marks wise. If you talk about 66 marks, you have to score minimum 66 marks. Okay, if you get 66 marks, you can clear CSAT. Even if you score more than 66, like even if you score 100 marks or 200 marks, or 200 out of 200 also if you score, of course it is not possible. If you score 200 out of 200 also, so your marks won't consider. But at the same time, if you don't qualify this paper and you are not eligible to write mains exam, so CSAT is that important. See, you may thought that 200 out of 200 marks, 66 marks seems to be very simple. But if you ask your seniors, those who already wrote this paper, I mean UPSC paper, they will understand it. They will tell you that why this paper is so important. So initially in 2000 till 2021-22, so most of the students neglect this. Okay, most of the student neglect this one, and so most of the student thought that yes, we have time till May month, so we can start CSAT preparation in the month of May, in the month of April, or some people start their preparation in the month of March. Slowly they understand the importance of CSAT, and then now everyone is giving importance to it. Okay, so this is the qualifying marks is 66 marks. Okay, Amma? So your doubt is what is the qualifying marks? Cutoff marks is 66 marks. If you have to cross 66 marks, then you will be qualified for this paper. By the way, what is the syllabus for CSAT? Okay, if you look at the CSAT syllabus, this is officially given in UPSC website only. So the syllabus for this one. So this is given as comprehension, the first one. Comprehension means that reading comprehension. So English reading comprehension. You will be given a passage, and based on the passage you will be given some questions. So this is called reading comprehension, right? Second one, interpersonal skills including communication skills. It comes under the comprehension only. Amma. This first one and second one belongs to English comprehension section. Okay, this first one and second one. So we come to a conclusion that what do we have in CSAT syllabus? The first one is English comprehension section. Okay, so here you don't have a vocabulary part, which means that verbal ability, you don't have a vocabulary part. So UPSC never asks CSAT, especially I am talking about. In UPSC CSAT, you will not be asked any questions related to the antonyms, synonyms like verbal ability, or so UPSC also don't ask you grammar questions in this English section. In this English section, you will get only comprehension. Comprehension means that you will be given a passage, and that too, the passage is with a length of 300 to 400 words. The passage length is between 300 words to 400, and based on that, a passage is given to you. A question will be given to you, right? Then the questions are not direct questions. It's not like what you have studied in your school days, a king story or queen story is given, then it is followed by a question. It's not like that. So again, you have to think analytically. The passage is given based on the analytical thinking, and you will have to answer it. Most of the questions like, what is the core theme of the passage, core idea of the passage? Okay, what is the assumption you can make from the passage? Okay, what is the conclusion you can draw from the given passage? So this type of questions you have it in. So the first one and second one is belongs to English, and that to comprehension. Okay, if you practice enough passages, that would be enough. Next, if you take the third part is logical reasoning and analytical ability. In simple words, I would say that it is logical reasoning. Okay, so you might have already know that logical reasoning is one of the important subjects we have, and most of the aspirants depends on this section of logical reasoning. See, for English, if you are an English medium student, you might score well, but if you are non-English medium student, if you are a Telugu medium student or Hindi medium student, then sometimes for most of the students, what happened is they may not figure out. Okay, so that's why they depends on this logical reasoning, because out of all the sections, the easiest section in CSAT part is logical reasoning. So you have, we'll discuss about the topics also later. So you have simple topics in the logical reasoning like puzzle, seating arrangement, blood relations, direction test. You can easily do it. So from the logical reasoning section, even some of the students there are math students and non-math student, right? So non-math students especially depend on this logical reasoning. Now preparation strategy we'll discuss about later. First we'll complete the syllabus completed. So first What is the first part? First part is English comprehension. Second part is logical reasoning. I'll just simply put it, I'll put it in the simple words, right? Next, if you, even the general mental ability, decision making and problem solving, this third one, fourth one, fifth one, generally we categorized as logical reasoning only. So in logical reasoning, we have verbal reasoning, non-verbal reasoning and analytical reasoning. So this third one, fourth one, fifth one comes under logical reasoning. Okay. Now last one, sixth, basic numeracy. Okay, which means that what is given in the official website is numbers and their relations, orders of magnitude, etc. Class 10th level. It was officially given in the UPSC website. What does it mean, that basic numeracy? He simply gave the word like basic numeracy. Basic numeracy means that it tests your aptitude skills. Okay, quantitative aptitude skills. What is quantitative aptitude skills? It is nothing but the mathematics. I don't call it as mathematics because here the word is basic numeracy. What is basic numeracy? Even so, if you write any other competitive exams, you will have it, right? Aptitude part. Okay, so some people call it as arithmetic, some people call it as aptitude, quantitative aptitude, or some people call it as basic numeracy. So what it is means that whatever you have studied in your school days, so which means that especially from 6th to 10th, mathematics, 6th to 10th mathematics, that is called basic numeracy. Okay, if you write any competitive exam, your GS part or English part will be the graduation level. Okay, only for when it comes to the maths part, you write any complicated exam, any toughest exam in India. So for example, if you take that CAT is considered as most toughest exam, one of the most toughest exam in India related to the aptitude part. But still the syllabus is till 10th class. Aptitude or basic numeracy, arithmetic means that whatever the mathematics you have studied in your school days till 10th class, that is quantitative aptitude. Okay, so the most common topics like number system and ratios and proportions, percentages, profit and loss, these type of topics will be covered in the basic numeracy. So simply, even though it is given that 6 different segments, there are only 3 subjects in the CSAT. Okay, it is classified into 3 subjects. First one is English comprehension. Okay, you will understand easily if I just put it in the simple language. The first one is English comprehension, and here you don't have grammar or vocabulary related things, right? The first one. And the second one is logical reasoning. Third one is quantitative aptitude. Simple thing. So these 3 you have to study for the CSAT. Okay. Now come to the math student and non-math student. See, why the CSAT, most of the students feel difficult to clear this exam, because first I'll talk about the non-math students. Non-math student, so there are math students, non-math student. So which background you are? Maths? Yes. Maths, okay. So for non-math students, I'll tell you that. What they feel is, so maths is, they have mathophobia. Mathophobia means that when they look at the maths, they're really getting scared about that maths, right? So that's why most of the students, non-math students, leave this section. Okay, some of them also they leave this section and completely depends on this part, logical reasoning part. With this logical reasoning or with this comprehension, you can't clear it, because I will show you data. Okay, from which the questions are coming, from which area the questions are coming. I'll show you the data. So for math student, if you are a math student or non-math student, the first point I would like to give you is, don't neglect this part. You are a non-math student, you may thought that, so you have the first one, I mean English comprehension, and you also have that logical reasoning. You may think that like, so we can clear by using those 2 sections. It's not possible. Most of your students, most of your seniors thought in the same way, but they failed to clear this one. So all these 3 sections are important. Don't leave any section. So if you are not good in English, it does not mean that you should avoid this section. You should also pay attention to the comprehension section. So you should prepare for these 3: comprehension section, logical reasoning and basic numeracy, which is nothing but quantitative aptitude. Then only we can easily clear CSAT exam. Next part is, you can see how the questions are coming. Okay, so you will understand the clear idea about that. See, every exam has its own flavor. If you write any exam before that, so you need to analyze the previous papers. Even for CSAT also, if you look at the previous year papers, of course the CSAT is introduced in 2011. From 2011 we have various papers, but from 2019 onwards the trend is completely changed. See, what happened before 2019 is major dimension is given to reading comprehension. You have lot of questions from the reading comprehension and also from the reasoning part. Almost all these two sections will cover all 80% of 80 to 90% of the paper. But the trend is completely changed from 2019. So that's why I show you a data which is from 2019 to 2024. How many questions you will get from different sections. As I already mentioned that, so we categorized into three sections, right? The first section, first one is reading comprehension, second one is reasoning, third one is quantitative aptitude and data sufficiency. Data sufficiency means that, and now this is the recent trend. So where you have been given questions like statement 1 and statement 2. You already have it in the GS part, exactly like we will have it in the CSAT part. Okay, but all these data sufficiency questions are, most of the questions are related to the quantitative aptitude. So in this data sufficiency, 80% of the questions are from the quantitative aptitude and rest of the 20% are from the reasoning. Now we'll see one by one. First, if you look at the reading comprehension segment, okay. So as you already know that total how many questions we have? 80 questions. Out of 80 questions, if you look at 2019, there are 30 questions. 30 questions were given to comprehension. In 2020, we had 26. From 2021 onwards, 20 to 23, even this year, we have a standard number of questions from the reading comprehension, that is 27 questions. So we may come to conclusion here that the average questions from the reading comprehension is 27 to 28. Average I am taking that 27 to 28 questions you have it from the reading comprehension. Even if you completely prepare for the comprehension section, you may not clear it. Okay, so you will have to count on the remaining things. At least for this part, we can say that we have the questions around at 27 to 28 from the reading comprehension. But I would like to tell you one more thing, that reading comprehension, it is not only the comprehension of the passes. It's not like just you are answering the questions from the passes. Again, you have to think analytically, because there comes like critical reasoning things. What is the central tone of the passes, or what is the conclusion, what is the assumption, okay, what is the course of argument, so does it strengthen the argument or does it weaken the argument. Again, it comes under the part of reasoning. Again, we have something related to the reasoning, reading comprehension also. So it's not the easiest thing to do out of all these 27 to 28. Another important thing is, comprehension sections will take time. So the passes is around like, so you have that, as I mentioned, that 300 to 400 words. It is in the range of 2000 to 300 words, 300 to 400 words. Again, you have to analyze the passes, you will have to interpret the passes in the right way. So it takes time. For doing reading comprehension, it takes time. Even so-called the guys who are very good in English and who are very good in comprehension section, they can manage to clear reading comprehension from 15 passes only. Maximum they can read 15 passes. They can't solve all the questions also, because it is time bounded exam, right? 20 questions we have. You don't simply count on only reading comprehension. You will also have to look at the other sections, right? So from the feedback which I got from your seniors, so from last few years, is maximum they are able to attend 15. Maximum I am talking about, not even average. Maximum I am talking about 15 passes they can manage to attempt. And accuracy levels also not as much as in the case of quantitative aptitude and reasoning. Okay, so my point is, so don't completely depend on reading comprehension. Those who thought that maths are weak and logical reasoning are weak and English is good, you also have to score from the other sections. Okay, that's why in the beginning only I told you that you have to prepare for reading comprehension, reasoning and quantitative aptitude. So by the way, the average number of questions you will get is 27 and 28. Even 2025 we can expect the same number of questions. Next, coming to the reasoning. Reasoning, so again it varies 13, 10, 18, 9, 11, 13. Especially 2022-23 students, the immediate review from the students after writing the exam is paper is tough. Why? Because see, you can see the number of questions from the logical reasoning is 9 and 11. Maximum students depend on these two. I mean, on this reasoning. So you go to suddenly. What happens is when you see 2018, 17, 16 papers, you can see that most of the reasoning questions. You don't just depends on that 2016 to 2018 question paper. That's why I give you the rough idea from 2019 to 24 how the scenario changes. Okay, so this 2022-23 who attempted this paper, right? They felt like this paper is really tough because their reasoning questions are weak. And this year they said that paper is good, paper is moderate. Why? Because the reasoning questions are more. That is almost all 18. And you can see whenever the reasoning section questions are less, quantitative aptitude questions were more, right? And obviously they lose the marks if you don't prepare for the quantitative aptitude, so you lose the marks. So I would say that around 15 questions from reasoning. Okay, again if you look at the quantitative aptitude before 2019, so very limited, so quantitative aptitude role is very limited, like you have hardly 10 questions, 8 questions. But suddenly from 2019, the number of questions from the quantitative aptitude is like you can see that 37, 39, half of this, okay, out of 80 questions, 39 means that almost all nearer to 40, half of them are quantitative aptitude. Okay, so that's why if you are non-math student, don't think that quantitative aptitude is negligible section. You have to prepare from the quantitative aptitude also. This year, luckily, if you compare from 2019 to 24, only this year we have less number of questions. I would not say that less number of questions because even these questions, the remaining questions comes under data sufficiency. The data sufficiency questions are almost all 8 questions are related to quantitative aptitude again. Okay, so this section I would say that around that 32 questions minimum on an average. Quantitative aptitude on an average you have 32 questions. Data sufficiency. What is data sufficiency? Data sufficiency means that two statements are given to us, statement 1 and statement 2. Okay, so and the question is again a question, it can be a mathematical question or it can be a reasoning based question. But 80% of the cases from the CSAT previous year papers, we can say that 80% of the questions in the data sufficiency is related to the quantitative aptitude. Statements are given and statement 1 and statement 2 are given, and so in order to answer the question, which statement is required. Okay, so data sufficiency is also related to the quantitative aptitude and reasoning. So 2019 you don't have questions from the data sufficiency. 20 we have 5 questions, 21 we don't have any questions, but 22 we have maximum number of questions from the data sufficiency, that is almost all 12, and 23 we have 6 questions only. But again in 2024, which means this year we have 10 questions, right? So you can understand that the maximum weightage is given, the first maximum weightage is given to the quantitative aptitude for CSAT, the second weightage is given to reading comprehension, and the last we have reasoning. Okay, my sincere advice is when you are preparing for CSAT, you just focus on all these 3. And also, the most common mistake lots of aspirants are doing is they start their CSAT preparation in the month of January or February or March. It's too late to qualify for the exam. Only this year, for majority of the students, this paper is, they say that moderate paper, but 2023, 22, 21, they thought that the paper is difficult. And I would like to explain that why the paper is difficult. They felt like difficult in 2023, 21 and 22, these 3 years, because the questions are, maximum questions are like number system and the next topic is permutations and combination. These 2 topics most of the students felt a difficulty, right? It's not that easy. These are not the arithmetic topics. So when you prepare for the quantitative aptitude, so again lot of students prepare for like percentages, ratios and proportions, profit and loss, this type of topics, right? But what happened in the exam is, even including with this year, maximum questions are from number systems and permutations and combinations. You have to focus more on these two topics, number systems and permutations and combinations. Okay, again, so when we start the classes, then I'll explain that how to prepare and what to prepare, so on what topics you need to focus more, right? Right, if you look at the syllabus, first anyways, as you know, the reading comprehension is comprehension only. So there is no syllabus for that. Actually, to get master in reading comprehension, you have to read the newspapers regularly. That anyway you do it. For if you write any competitive any other exams, then I would tell you that like you have to read the newspaper daily, editorial especially. But since being an UPSC aspirant, anyway you read it, right? The first task. And the syllabus for logical reasoning. And this is the syllabus: analogy, classification, series, coding and decoding, okay, blood relations, direction sensitives, logical Venn diagram, alphabet test, seeding arrangement, mathematical operations, ranking, clocks, calendars. And clocks and calendars are very important topics. Some problems are is cubes, dice, syllogism, statements, arguments, statement, course of action, statement, conclusion. And even if you want me to tell you the most important topics from this, I would say that clocks is one topic, calendars is one topic, and problems on A's every year we get questions, and problems on syllogism definitely we have the questions, logical Venn diagrams, blood relations, and mathematical operation. So mathematical operation questions are just based on the Bodmas rule, simple addition, subtraction. So something like if A, B into C, something is given like that. So instead of this numbers we have, like suppose if 24 at the rate 4 there's another symbol, factorial 6, something is given like this, and also he mentioned like that. It means at the rate divided by, it means plus, this means minus, then what is this value? Okay, so it's just a mathematical simplification. It's just a simplification. Okay, so as the most important topics are blood relations, logical Venn diagram, and mathematical operations, clocks, calendars, problems on ages, syllogisms. And also these topics, number series topics. Number series means that maybe you have an idea, right? Some numbers are given like this. What is the next number? I just randomly take a simple example. 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49. What is the next number? 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49. 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square, 6 square, 7 square. What is the next number? 8 square. 8 square value is what? 64. Okay. So not every number has the same logic. It depends on the given series. Okay. So when we discuss about the topic, I will give you all the different logics what we have in the number series. Okay. And coming to the next one, quantitative aptitude syllabus. The syllabus for the quantitative aptitude. So number system, simplifications, sorts and indices. Okay. So especially number system, including with all this comes under the number system only. We will discuss simplification, sorts and indices in the topic of number system. This number system has a very good weightage. Last year, I mean 2024 only, we don't get maximum questions. At least we get 5 questions from the number system this year. But 2023, 22, 21, so these 3 years almost we have 10 to 15 questions from this topic, number system. Okay, so it is huge topic and we have to discuss a lot of concepts from this topic, number system. So the weightage is 10 to 15 questions, but this year we had 5 questions only. So simplifications also just comes under the topic of number system. Simplification means that you apply board mass rule. Okay, so that we'll discuss in the classroom. Surds and indices also, like, so it based on the formulas, x power m into x power n. Okay, you know that x power m plus n, a plus b whole square, a plus b whole cube. So based on the formulas, we'll do this one. And next, LCM and HCM. Okay. Next topic is ratios and proportions, percentages, partnership, profit and loss, averages, time and distance, time and work, simple interest. SI and CI means it simple interest and compound interest. Set theory. The set theory. In logical reasoning section, we have seen that Venn diagrams, right? This set theory is based on the Venn diagram only. Okay. PNC. PNC means that permutations and combinations. This is the most important topic, permutations and combination. Last year, we had 10 questions from this topic. 10 questions from this topic last year. This number system and permutations and combination plays a very important role. Next, probability. Okay, probability also an important topic, like we have a weightage of 1 to 2 questions. And next, mensuration. Mensuration means that finding out the areas, finding out the volumes, right? It does not have a good weightage, like it has a weightage of 1 to 2 questions. Geometry or mensuration related questions are 1 to 2. But the most important topics are number system, permutations and combinations, and ratios and proportions, percentages. Okay, if you know the percentages topic, we can solve all the questions from profit and loss and also simple interest and compound interest. Next important topics are time and work, time and distance, and averages. So we'll get the questions 1 to 2 questions from every topic. 1 to 2 questions. Percentages 1 to 2 questions. Profit and loss 1 to 2 questions, and averages 1 to 2. Time and distance. In this time and distance, we have the boats and streams and problems and trains. Everything is covers under the time and distance. And also from the time and work, we have pipes and cisterns. Again, we have a weightage of 1 to 2 questions. Okay, but the most important topics are number systems and permutations and combination. These two will combinedly have a weightage of 15 questions minimum. 15 questions minimum from this number systems and permutations and combination. Okay, so this is about quantitative aptitude syllabus, right? So now, how do we prepare for CSAT? Like especially quantitative aptitude. So for quantitative aptitude, you can follow our notebook. So whatever the classes, whatever we discuss in the classroom, that you can follow. Apart from that, so we will send you the PDF files, the soft copies. You can prepare from it. That's more than enough. But you have to start your preparation from the day one only. So from this day only. Don't think that CSAT is only qualifying paper. If you have an idea that like CSAT is only qualifying paper, that is the biggest hurdle for achieving your UPSC. You can ask your seniors, those who already wrote that paper. They understand that, they understand the pain, right? So you have to start the preparation from day one. You spend at least half an hour to 45 minutes, not more than that. So you spend at least half an hour to 45 minutes, that's enough for the CSAT, not require more than that. But from the month of December or the January, you can just spend 2 hours for the CSAT. And another advantage with this is, I don't think that you write only UPSC. Of course, UPSC is your ultimate goal, but meanwhile, so most of the students write other competitive exams. Only for UPSC, CSAT or the quantitative aptitude logical reasoning part is limited. But if you write any other exams like SSC, or if you write any state government exams, bank exams, for everything you require the aptitude and logical reasoning. These two, aptitude and logical reasoning, plays an important role in those exams. So you can simultaneously prepare for that exams also. Almost all it help you, like if you prepare for SSC, like bank exam, it will help you like a minimum 60 to 70% these topics. You can parallelly prepare for both SSC and UPSC if you want that. Or if your target is only UPSC, then for at least CSAT you have to prepare it, right? Before I would tell something about CSAT, so we discussed something about the CSAT. Now I would like to give you some questions, some previous year questions. I want to check on what standards you are. All right. We'll do some problems, previous year questions, so that you will also get to know that what type of questions you will get in UPSC CSAT, right? Generally, these are questions which you already know in your school days. Already you prepared in your school days. Okay. For this, if you are math student, if you are very good at maths, again you don't need a separate preparation for this also. You can directly do it. Most of the new aptitude questions also logical based questions. So let's do some questions, you will understand that. So all the questions which we are solving it are previous year questions, like from 2021 to 24. Let's start with this problem. First read this problem. I'll tell you the answer. Before that, you try to solve it. See, the problem is given like this. A gardener has 1000 plants. He wants to plant them in such a way that the number of rows and the number of columns remains the same. Okay, what is the minimum number of plants that he needs more for this purpose? It is given that a gardener has 1000 plants. He already has 1000 plants. He wants to plant them in such a way that the number of rows and the number of columns remains the same. Okay. The most important word is here. The number of rows and the number of columns remains the same. How do we arrange by satisfying this condition? The condition is, so the number of rows and the number of columns should be same. What would be the answer? Suppose let's say that you take this condition. What is the condition? The number of rows and the number of columns remains the same. Suppose if I want to plant the plants in two rows, and the number of columns should be what? 2. Okay. So if I take some plants and want to plant them in such a way that number of rows and number of columns are same. Let's start with by taking some example. Suppose if I plant them in 2 rows, then I must plant them in 2 columns. Okay. Then how many plants? See, this is my arrangement, right? So how many plants I am planting? 4. Total number of plants are 4. 2 horizontal rows, 2 vertical rows. So 2 into 2 is what? 4. Suppose if I want to plant them in 3 rows and 3 columns, like 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, 3 rows and 3 columns. 3 rows we have, 3 columns. How many plants I am planting? 9. See, in your exam, if you get any question, first you understand the question. Okay, there is some keywords we have. What is that? The number of rows and the number of columns remains the same. There are 1000 plants. Okay, you just make it simple for you. Just start from 2 rows and 2 columns, 3 rows and 3 columns. Yes, then you need to get an idea for that problem. So for next, suppose if I take that 4 rows and 4 columns, 4 rows and 4 columns. How many total plants are there? You are planting 4 rows and 4 columns means that 16. First, for maths also it is not difficult. So don't feel that maths means that only numbers are there. First you need to think logically. Even for the GS part you are thinking logically. I would say that when you compare with the GS, this part is easy. Okay? Yes, Amma, correct. Srivalli, correct answer. So you can see that the main important phrase is the number of rows and the number of columns remains the same. If you plant them in 2 rows, 2 columns, then the total number of plants is 4. If you plant them in 3 rows and 3 columns, the number of plants is 9. 4 rows and 4 columns means that 16. So this is what? 2 square, 3 square, because 2 into 2, 3 into 3, 4 into 4. One thing is clear. What is that? Yes, perfect square. In order to plant them in number of rows and number of columns same, then obviously the final number of plants should be what? A perfect square. A perfect square. So you can see that total number of plants here is 4. If I take the 3 rows and 3 columns, 9. 4 rows and 4 columns means that 16. All these numbers are what? Perfect square numbers. In order to satisfy the condition, the final answer should be what? A perfect square. Okay. The final answer should be what? Perfect square. You remember one point. Whenever you see this condition in any problem, if you see the condition, the number of rows and the number of columns remains the same. The final answer should be always a perfect square. The number should be a perfect square. Okay. This is the clue from this. Already the gardener has how many plants? 1000 plants. So we want the final number should be what? A perfect square. What is the nearest perfect square number of 1000? That is 1024. 32 square values 1024. 102. Okay. He already has 1000 plants. In order to make like the number of rows in the number of columns, he wants how many additional plants? 24. So he requires 24 extra plants. Okay, I'll tell you one point. Before we start the CSAT preparation, the first and foremost thing is we have to remember the squares from 1 to 30 or 35 minimum. Let's say that 1 to, nowadays we require that 1 to 35 days. The first and foremost thing, the first assignment, before we start the CSAT preparation, we must start with this. First we have to by heart the squares from 1 to 35 and cubes minimum you require 1 to 20 cubes. This is your first step in CSAT preparation. Before you start the preparation, you must have to remember these things. Okay, next, prime numbers from 1 to 100, that is also important, that I will tell you. But these two are important. Apart from that, the most important one is 1 to 20 tables perfectly. Okay, you may think that those are very easy, but like suppose if I suddenly ask that 16 7s, so generally what you do is 7 6s and 7 1s. So you don't understand that the time, how much time you are wasting, 16 7s. Okay, so likewise 1 to 20 tables are the most important one. It does not mean that 16 7s mean that 7 into 6 and 7 into 1. 16 7s are how much? And the next thing is, even if you see some number like 144, 16 9s we can write it. So likewise also if you have to remember, then it will save a lot of time to you, right? So 1 to 20 tables. So first squares 1 to 35, 1 to 20 cubes and 1 to 20 tables. Apart from that, you also need to learn the tables, 24th table, 25th table, 32 table. I don't ask you much in the CSAT preparation. Okay, there are no formulas, nothing. So maximum we avoid the formulas. Maximum we'll go by the concepts. Okay, every exam has its own flavor. If you write some exam like bank exam, it has a flavor, the type of questions you got. And CSAT also you have a type of questions, a particular type of question. CSAT, all you can see any paper from 2019. All quantitative aptitude questions are also logical based questions. We only have the logical based quantitative questions. Okay. So when you are preparing that, you have to remember a few points. So you don't need to apply the formula. Especially the good thing about CSAT is we rarely use the formulas. We hardly use the formulas. Okay. Maximum it depends on the concept. What you are going to learn in CSAT preparation is, in these classes, is concept only. Concept is the king here. If you know the concept, you can do any kind of problem. To the core, you need to understand the concept. So we'll have to learn the concept, right? So this is the only thing I'm asking to remember, to memorize in logical reasoning and quantitative aptitude part. Nothing else I would ask you. Only this thing. And from there onwards, only concept, only logical based things. So logical concept, logical based concept means that you don't need to buy hard anything. You don't need to mug up anything. Okay, these things you must do it, right? So by the way, when it comes to this question, 1000 plants already had. In order to satisfy this condition, he must have that 24 extra plants. I mean, the nearest perfect square about 1000 is 1024. How much extra he wants? 24. So answer is 24, right? Let's go to the next question. I'm not taking the hard questions, just you can easily do this problem, so which were asked in the previous year questions. Okay, let's see this question. A sum of 700 rupees has to be used, give 7 cash prizes to the students of a school for their overall academic performance. If each prize is 20 rupees less than its preceding price, what is the least value of the price? First, you need to understand the problem. Okay, so not the complicated questions we have. I just gave you some basic questions, basic level of questions. See, first you understand the problem. A sum of 700 rupees has to be used to give 7 cash prizes to the students of a school for their overall academic performance. Like, what is the total amount? 700 rupees. This 700 rupees has to be distributed among how many people? 7 people. Okay, this 700, let's say that I have 700 rupees. I want to distribute among 7 people, right? And what is my condition? The condition is if each price is 20 rupees less than its preceding price. Okay, suppose let's take that if I get a price of 100 rupees, then what is your price? See, if each price is 20 rupees less than its preceding price. Preceding price, my price is 100 rupees. Preceding means that before one. So, you are before, I am here. Okay. Suppose if I get 100 rupees, how much amount you get? 80 rupees only. Right. So, the initial value we don't know. Okay. Initial value you don't know. Let's say that, see in mathematics when you don't know any value, you can assume the value is x. Initial value you don't know. Let's say that the value is x. Okay. From there onwards, 20 rupees less. If the first guy has a price of x rupees, next person x minus 20, x minus next person x minus 40. Yes, because 20 rupees difference, right? X minus 40. Next x minus 60. Likewise, how many prizes are distributed? 1, 2, 3, 4. Likewise, 7 prizes. Okay, the difference between each prize is what? 20 rupees. X minus 60, x minus 80, x minus 100. Okay, total 7 prizes. This depends on you. Since I am explaining, I am writing all these values. You don't need to write it. If you already understand that, if you are good in mathematics, if you are good at maths, you don't need to write all this calculation part, right? So, total values are what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I wrote all the 7 prizes values. Now, add the complete sum. What is the complete value? If you add, these are the 7 prizes, right? What is the complete value? 7x, add the values, 7x minus 20, minus 40, minus 60, minus 80, minus 100, minus 120. Add the numbers, okay? So, minus 120, 80, 300, 400, 520, 520. 7x minus 520 is equal to, this complete value is equal to how much, Amma? Okay, 420. Yes, 420. This complete value is equal to how much? 700, right? Now 7x value is equal to what? This minus 420, when you take it to the other side, it becomes plus 1120. Therefore, x value is equal to what? 7. Divide with 7 1 is 7 6 is 0. Okay, 160 rupees. So, x value is what? 160 rupees. Now, what we need to find out, what is the least value? X minus, here after getting the x value, you have the option 160 also in your exam. Like 160, 140, 120, suppose if you have, most of the student made a mistake by taking this value directly. Okay, you thought that x value we got, the answer is x. But if you read the question, what is the thing we have to find out? Least value of the price. What is the least value of the price? X minus 120 is the least value, right? X minus 120 is the least value. So, answer should be what? X minus 120. X minus 120 means that what? 160 minus 120. So, answer is what? 40. 40 is the answer. Okay. So, I would like to tell you one more point here. Here, okay. As you know that, how many questions you have? 80 questions in the CSAT. One thing you must remember this, okay, everyone has to know this. Total number of questions is what? 80 questions. But as you know that this is what? Qualifying paper. Qualifying paper means that how many marks you need to score? 66 marks. Again, you know that each question have how many marks? 2.5 marks. Okay. In 2 hours duration, how many maximum questions you can attempt? You tell me. In 2 hours duration, how many maximum questions you can attempt? You have 80 questions. You have 2 hours time, 120 minutes time. I'm leaving it to you. So how many maximum questions you can attempt? Maximum I'm asking. 60. If you look at the paper, you don't say that 60 questions you can attempt. Yeah, 40 to 50 is the most reasonable one. So even your seniors attempted that 40 to 50, the range is always to 40. Okay, I would take that 50. I would take the 50 questions. Let's say that maximum you can attempt are 50 questions. Maximum you can attempt 50 questions. Right? What is the time? 120 minutes. Okay. So you have to attempt 150 questions in how many minutes? 120 minutes. Then how much time we have? 2 minutes. Minimum more than 2 minutes. It can be 2 minutes 15 seconds, 2 minutes 20 seconds. 2 minutes 20 seconds time. If you attempt only 40 questions, you have, for each question how much time you have? 3 minutes. If it is more than 2 minutes, you have the time of 2 minutes 15 seconds, means that you can spend a lot of time on it, right? So generally, if you write any competitive exam other than CSAT, for quantitative aptitude, you have the time for every question less than 1 minute, hardly 40 seconds. But in CSAT, you have an advantage. Why I am highlighting this point? Because you have an advantage in the CSAT. So even if you get an idea, like you can calculate in your mind all these values. Even if you don't get the idea, you can write this value. Okay. So for every question we have 2 minutes. I'm not saying that you have to spend for every question 2.5 minutes, but I'm saying in general, right? For some questions you can, if you know the question already, you can just finish the question within fraction of seconds. There are some questions, almost all, if you look at the paper, minimum 8 to 10 questions you can solve within less than half minute. Within less than half minute. After the completing the course, you will understand that. You can easily do it. Okay, right? So the point is, you can spend the time. Okay, so you don't need to worry much about it. What you require is little bit pressure to the basics. Okay, that's why I'm saying that if you concentrate in the class and if you prepare our class notebook, because in the class what we do is, apart from doing the problems, we also focus on the previous year questions. And after that, I'll send you the PDFs, the soft copies. You can practice it from it. That's more than enough, because there is no proper book for CSAT specially. If you go to the market and if you want to choose the CSAT, all the questions, all the books are having not related to the CSAT. Okay, so maybe most of the students buy that, unnecessarily buy that RS Agarwal. If you prepare for other exams, you can buy RS Agarwal, any other book. But for CSAT, those are not related to the CSAT exam. Okay, that's why we provide a material. Material means that handouts I will send you. That's exclusively for the CSAT. It will help you for the CSAT preparation. Okay. Apart from our classes, we have some very good number of classes and very good number of questions from each topic we do, from the basics, and from the basics only we will start for every concept. Okay. Apart from that, you also have that books, material for this one. You can practice lot number of problems. Okay. Right, let's go to the next problem. And this was, this type of questions was asked multiple times in the previous year papers. Online students, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. If anybody has any doubts, you can ask me. Right. What is the total number of digits printed if a book containing 850 pages is to be numbered from 1 to 850? Okay. The same model question was asked multiple times in CSAT. In CSAT, you can see that most questions are repeated. At least 10 to 20% of the questions are repeated from the previous year questions. That's why one of the most important thing in CSAT preparation is you had to do previous year questions. You had to practice previous year questions. 80% of the questions will solve it in the classroom only. Previous year questions also. And the same model question was asked multiple times in the previous year questions. What is the total number of digits printed if a book containing 850 pages is to be numbered from 1 to 850? If a book has 1 to 850, so normally you have a book, right? So the book has page numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, like, right? So the book has 850 pages, 850 pages. And what I want is how many digits are printed. What is meant by digit? 0 to 9 are called digits. If you take all these are separately like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are called digits. When you combine these digits, then it is called as number. When we combine the digits, it is called number. Otherwise, these are digits. Suppose if you take 123. In 123, how many digits we have? 3. So, likewise, if I count all the digits starting from 1 to 850, how many digits we have? Here we have that 1 to 850 means that we have the single digit numbers, single digit page numbers, and also 2 digit numbers, page numbers, right? Because from page number 10 to page number 99, we have 2 digits, right? Again from page number 100 to 850, we have 3 digit numbers. How do we solve this question? So we can solve this question by dividing into single digit, 2 digits and 3 digits. Single digits. How many single digit we have? 1 to 9, which means the total number of digits is what? Total number of digits is 9. Next, 2 digit numbers. 2 digit numbers are 10 to 99. First of all, how many numbers we have from 10 to 99? From 10 to 99, how many numbers we have? From 10 to 99, how many numbers we have? How many numbers we have from 10 to 99? And one important thing, so you please write this one. It's a very, very important one. So this application will use it in multiple problems. If I ask you that how many numbers are there, 452, let's say that some 800. Can you tell me how many numbers are there from 450 to 800? From 450 to 800 means that you have to include both 450 and also 800. If I ask you a question, how many numbers are there from 450 to 800? How many numbers we have? Which means that you have to include these two numbers. Remember this thing always, because it's a very, very important application. Whenever you are finding out the number of numbers from one number to another number, from one number to another number, it should be like this: largest number minus smallest number, and after that you take the difference of these two numbers, and after that add plus 1, add plus 1. Then you will get the number of numbers from one number to another number. Largest number is what? 800 minus smallest number is what? 450 plus 1. So what is the value? 350 plus 1 means 351. Okay, this you write. Okay, mom? Yes, correct. 800 minus 449. You can do. So generally it is what? Largest number minus smallest number plus 1. So how many numbers between two numbers if it is asked? If you are asked to find out how many numbers are there between two numbers, largest number minus smallest number minus 1. Okay? Okay. Now you tell me that how many digits we have from, yeah. First, you find out how many numbers we have. The number of numbers are 99 minus 80 plus 1. 89 plus 1 means that how many numbers we have? 90 numbers are there. 2 digit numbers if I take from 10 to 99. 2 digit numbers are from 10 to 99 means that exactly we have how many numbers? 90 numbers. Each number has how many digits? It is 2 digit numbers, right? So we are finding out the number of digits only, right? Total how many digits we have? 180. And similarly, if you take the 3 digit numbers, 3 digit numbers can be counted from which number to which number? It is still 850. 3 digit number means that it starts from 100 to 850. 100 to 850. So how many numbers we have? So if you have any doubts, you can take the difference and then add plus 1. 850 minus 100 means that 750. 750 plus 1 is 751. Multiply with 3. So what is the value we get? Because it is 3 digit number. In each 3 digit number we have 3 digits, right? So that's why we multiply with 3. 3 ones are 3 5s are 15. 3 7s are 122. Okay. So 9 I write here clearly. See, 2 2 5 3. So what is the answer? 2442. 2442 is the answer. It's 2442 amma. Answer is. And it's an important question because it was asked multiple times in the exam. So one time it is asked 1 to 1000. Okay. So just like this one, so you can find out from 1 to 999. Single digit number, 2 digit number, 3 digit numbers are also completely there. 100 to 999. Later we have to add that 1000 also. 1000 means that 4. Then we'll get the answer. Okay, ma? Right. Let's go to the next problem. Is it clear? We are just taking the simple numbers, simple questions, amma. Now read the next question. So what is given in the problem? X and Y are natural numbers other than 1. You know what are meant by natural numbers? Natural numbers mean that 1, 2, 3, 4 up to so on, infinity. Other than 1. X and Y are natural numbers but other than 1. Other than 1 means that it is given that X and Y are natural numbers but other than 1 means that from which numbers we can count? 2. So X and Y are the numbers starting from 2 to infinity. And also there is one more condition, that is what? Y is greater than X. Y is greater than X. Then which of the following represents the largest number? Okay. So we don't know the values of X and Y. When variable related questions are given, like especially this type of questions, minimum you have 2 to 3 questions based on this, which means that we can assume the values. This type of questions we have in the exam like 2 to 3 minimum, right? These problems are very simple because we can assume the number by satisfying the condition. What is the condition here? It is simply given that X and Y are two natural numbers and also other than 1. Other than 1 means that you can take that from 2 to any number. One more condition is given, that is Y is greater than X. Y is greater than X. Then which of the following is the largest number? For this, yes, for this problem, so you can assume the values. Which values you can assume? Values can be 2, 3, any number, but Y is a maximum number than X. Okay, you can take the simplest possible value for which you can assume one value. Which value you can assume for X? See, you can assume any value by satisfying the condition. Condition is what? X and Y are other than 1. So which means that from 2, 3, 4, any number you can assume. There is no problem at all. Okay, but only thing is, when you are assuming the values, you can assume as minimum as possible. Okay, there are the numbers, you can assume any number, even you can assume 100, 1000, any number you can assume. It doesn't matter. But thing is, when you assume the smallest possible number, what happens is, we can do the calculation in a easy way. Okay, you can do the calculation easy way. So that's why I assume the X value is what? 2. Then Y value slightly, so you can take the slightly greater than, which means that Y I can assume, because Y greater than X, right? I assume X value is 2, Y value is 3. Okay. Now, what is the XY value, amma? X into Y means that 3 into 2 is 6. X by Y means that what? X by Y means that 3 by 2. Okay. Y by X means that what? 2 by X. X plus Y, 3 plus 2 is 5. 3 into X plus Y means that 3 plus 2. X into Y means that what? 3 into 2 is 5 by 6. We need to find out the largest number. Which is the largest number? 6 is the largest number. 3 by 2, 1.5. Value of 3 by 2 is what? 1 by 2 by 3 means that obviously, of course, it is 0.666. Even if you don't know the value, it doesn't matter to us, because 2 by 3 value is obviously less than 6. In fact, it is less than 1. 2 by 3 means that what point something we get, it is obviously less than 1. And 5 by 6 also, what is the value we get? Less than 1 only. So then what is the answer? Largest number means that X. And we have the questions particularly this type of model, like, so we can assume the values. Based on the condition, we can assume the values, right? Clear, Amma? Let's go to the next problem. Read the problem carefully. 136 is added to 5b7 and sum obtained is 7a3, where a and b are integers. It is given that 7a3 is exactly divisible by 3, then the only possible value of b is what? See, here what is given is 136 is added to 5b7. There is a 3-digit number 136, that 136 is added to another number 5b7, and after adding these two numbers, what is the value we get? 7a3. and also it is given that a, b or integer values. Integers mean that what are meant by integers? So in the number systems, that's why I told you that, so we'll start from the basics. Everything is important and all this comes under the number system. We'll discuss a lot about this number system topic because we have so many concepts in the number system. Okay, integers means that, generally I'll tell you that integers means that the numbers which do not have any fractions or the decimal points. Like you can say that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to infinity, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 up to minus infinity. Only pure numbers. There are no decimal values, no fraction values. Okay, integer means that. And also one more condition it is given is what? 783 is exactly divisible by 3. Then which of the following values of B, which of the values are B? See, it is 136. What is given, Amma? First 136. The number is what? 136. We have the number 136. Is added to which number? 5B7. And after these two, after adding these two, what is the value we get? 783. And what else is given? It is given that 783 is exactly divisible by 3. This value, it is given that this value is exactly divisible by 3. Yes, we are going to learn about different concepts in the number system. So one of the important concept is divisibility rules. Okay, probably you have studied in your school days divisibility rules, right? So divisibility rule means that what? When a number is given, so and we have to check whether that number is divisible by a particular number or not, right? So what is the divisibility? Do you have any idea, Amma? So what is the divisibility rule of 3? Divisibility rule of 3. Sum of the digits must be. Okay, Amma. B is 4, A is 8. Yes, we'll see. Okay. Sum of the digits must be divisible by 3. See, 783 is the number. It is given that the number must be divisible by 3. Generally, there is a divisibility rule of 3. The divisibility rule of 3 is, if the sum of the digits in a given number is divisible by 3, then the whole number is divisible by 3. Okay. 783 means that, what is the sum? Already we know the numbers. What are the numbers we have? 7 and 3. 7 and 3 combinedly the number is what? 10. 7 plus 3 is already 10. Divisibility rule of 3 is what? The complete sum of these digits is what must be divisible by. So the sum is already 10. 7 plus 3 is 10. Then in place of A, which number if I place, then the resulting number is divisible by 3. 7 plus 3 is already 10. If I place 2, 10 plus 2 is 12, then it is divisible by. Next, one more number, 5. Again, 7 plus 3, 10, 10 plus 5, 15, 15 also divisible by 3. Next, one more number, 8. Even if you take 8, 7 plus 3, 10, 10 plus 8 is what? 18. 18 is also divisible by 3. Okay. So, there are 3 possibilities for A. Okay. 2, 5, 8. We have to find out the only possible value of B. Only possible value of B. Let's take the first value 2. I'll check one by one. Okay. So, suppose if I take that A value is 2. Suppose if I take that A value is 2. Now you add the numbers. 6 plus 7 is what? 13. 13 means that 1 is carry forward. Now 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus how much we'll get 2? 4 plus 2 means that we don't get 2, Amma. But 12 we can get, right? 4 plus how much is 12? 4 plus 8 is 12. 4 plus 8 is 12. 12 means that 1 is carry forward. Then you can check that 5 plus 1 plus 1. Okay? Then it satisfies the condition. So, which means that if I take that B is equal to 8, A is equal to 2, it satisfies the condition. He said that already, that no need to check the remaining numbers because already given in the problem only possible value of B. I take A 8 here. If I take 8, it completely satisfies the condition. Then the only possible value of A is what? Only possible value of B is what? 8. So, answer is what? 8. Yes, B is 8, A is 2. Okay. We have the divisibility rules. We have the divisibility rules. So, based on the divisibility rules, we got the question. I only give you some random questions are that simple questions. I mean, not that difficult. And we have some good questions from this number systems. A digit x is greater than 3 is divisible by 3 but not divisible by 6. Then which of the following is divisible by 4? You try to answer the question. Please, all of you try to answer the question. It is given that a digit x is greater than 3. X is given that greater than 3. Greater than 3 means that it can be 4, 5, 6, any value. But there are conditions. What is the condition? It should be divisible by 3. X is greater than 3. And another condition is what? That x value must be divisible by 3 but not divisible by 6. But not divisible by 6. So first of all, you assume a value for x. First of all, the value is greater than 3. Greater than 3 means that what? 4, 5, 6, 7 like this. And also it is given that it should be divisible by 3. It should be divisible by 3 means that what? 6 is divisible by 3. But there is one more condition. What is that? It should not be divisible by 6. Then which number I can take? 9. Suppose if I take that x is equal to 9, it is greater than 3, it is divisible by 3, but it is not divisible by 6. So likewise we can assume the values. Every year we have, so already we did some problem related to that, right? So we did one problem where we assume a number. Similarly here we are assuming a number. Definitely every year, even including with this year, every year we have minimum 2 to 3 questions based on the assuming the values. Simple, very simple. How do we assume? Just as per the given problem. Okay, it is given that simply it is the digit is x greater than 3. It is divisible by 3. Greater than 3 means that we take the values of 4, 5, 6, 7, something like that. And also the number is divisible by 3. Okay, the values are what? 6, 9, 12. Likewise we can take. And also it is not divisible by 6 means that what? The value is 9. Okay, so I would take that x value. The least possible value of x is what? 9. Then what is the final question? Yes. Which of the following is divisible by 4? If I take the value of x is equal to 9, then 2 into 9 is what? 18. 18, is it divisible by 4? No. The next number is 3x. 3x means that 3 into 9 is what? 27. 27, is it divisible by 4? No. 2x plus 4 means that 2 9s are 18. 18 plus 4 is what? 22. 22 is also not divisible by 2. 3x plus 1 means that 3 9s are 27. 27 plus 1 is what? 28. 28 is divisible by 4, right? So answer is what? 3x plus 1. Bhavana, how it would be C, amma? C is not divisible. If you take the value of x is equal to 9, 2 9s are 18, 18 plus 4 is 22. 22 is not divisible by 4, Kazama. Okay, only option D, that is 3x plus 1 is divisible by 4. Is it clear, amma? For what value of n? The sum of the digits and the number 10 power n plus 1 is 2. Understand the problem. For what value of n? So which value if I take it for n? The sum of the digits and the number. So actually it is in the number. You read it as in the number. It is given as n the number, but it is in the number. Okay, you can read it as in the number. The sum of the digits in the number 10 power n. What is the number? 10, the number given as 10 power n plus 1. 10 power n plus 1. Okay. What value of n? Which value if you take for n, then the number, so we'll get some number, right? The sum of the digits in the number is 2. Suppose, let me take a random number, like that, suppose if I take that n is equal to 0, as we have it in the option A, if I take that n is equal to 0, then if you put the value of n is equal to 0, 10 power 0 is what? 1. 10 power n to the power of 0 is what? 1. 10 to the power of 0 is 1. 1 plus 1 is what? 2. Okay. Next. Right. So what is the question here? For what value of n? The sum of the digits in the number 10 power n plus 1 is 2. If I take that n is equal to 0, I am getting the sum is what? The sum is 2. Digit sum is 2. Okay. Just because you got answer 2 for n is equal to 0, don't mark this one number. You also need to read the remaining options. Okay. If you look at the second option, for any whole number n. Whole numbers means that what? From 0 to every number, 0, 1, 2, 3, all the numbers. First I am taking n is equal to 0 and if I check that sum, the resulting sum is 2. Suppose if I take that n is equal to 1, put the value of n over here, 10 power 1, 10, 10 plus 1 is what? 11. 11 means that what is the sum you will get? 1 plus 1 is, because what is the condition? Sum of the digits must be equal to 2. If I take the sum of the digits in this number, 11, 1 plus 1 is what? 2. Even if I take that n is equal to 2, n is equal to 2 means that 10 square is 100, 100 plus 1 is what? 101. Then the sum is what? 1 plus 1 is what? 2. Okay, if I take that n is equal to 3. Likewise, if you take any value, we are getting that total sum is what? 2. So, for n is equal to 0, yes, for n is equal to 0, it's correct. For n is equal to 0, it's correct. But here it said that it is given that only n is equal to 0. Only n is equal to 0 only. That's wrong. Because for any number, for any whole number n, it holds 2, right? Right. Next, if you take that for any positive integer n only. Again, positive integers means that what? 1, 2, 3. 0 is neither positive nor negative number. We don't consider 0 as a positive number nor as a negative number. 0 is neither positive nor negative number. What it is given in the option C is for any positive integer n only. For any positive integer n only means that he is taking the numbers n values from 1, 2, 3, 4. If you look at this one, for n is equal to 0 also we got the sum is what? 2, right? So, since it is given only, it is also wrong. For any real number means that what? Real number can be integer numbers, decimal numbers, fraction numbers. If you take that fraction numbers, you don't get it, right? So, when this condition is true, the condition is true only for any whole number n. So, that's why answer is what? Option B. Clear, Amma? For any whole number means, for any whole number ante n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 అన్ని వస్తాయి. Yes, it satisfies. That's why, see, you take that n is equal to 0, you are getting the number n is equal to 1. If you take that 10 power 1 plus 1 is 11. 1 plus 1 sum is what? 2. Digit sum. It is given that sum of the digits in the number 10 power n plus 1 is 2. Right? If you take n is equal to 2, again 10 square value is what? 100. 100 plus 1 is 101. What is the digits? Sum of the digits 1 plus 1 is 2. Likewise, if you take n is equal to 3, you can check that n is equal to 3. 10 cube value is what? 1000. 1000 plus 1 is what? 1001. Again, if you add the digits, sum is equal to what? Sum is equal to 2. So, for any whole number n, we are getting the answer. We are getting the sum is what? The digit sum is 2. Is it clear, Amma? Clear to all? Okay, next problem. Which is the largest number among the following? There are some numbers here: 1 by 2 whole to the power of minus 6, 1 by 4 whole to the power of minus 3, 1 by 3 whole to the power of minus 4, 1 by 6 whole to the power of minus 2. 1 by 6. 1 by 6. 1 by 2 power 6 whole to the power of minus 6. Okay, so all these questions, whatever we are doing now, are from number system concept. Number system, and this is related to the search. As I said, that number system topic has a huge weightage. Okay, what is the largest number? Search related, I think you know that x power m minus m. How do we write x power minus m value? 1 by x to the power of m. There is a property in search, like number system, we have search topic. In that there is a property. Suppose if you have any number has a power minus m. So let's say that x to the power of minus m. X to the power of minus m can be written as what? 1 by x power m. Which means that suppose if I take that 2 power minus 5, you can write this number as 1 by 2 to the power of 5. 1 by 2 to the power of 5 means that what? 1 by 5. 1 by 32. Right? Next. Suppose if you have anything like 1 by x whole to the power of minus m. See, here we have every expression is 1 by x whole to the power of minus m, right? So can I write it like this? 1 by minus 1 power minus m to the power of x power minus m. Okay. So because if you have something like x by y whole to the power of a, then you can write it as what? X power a divided by y power a. Similarly, 1 by x whole to the power of minus m means that 1 to the power of minus m divided by x to the power of minus m. 1 to the power of any number is what? 1 divided by x to the power of minus m. This x to the power of minus m, can I write it as 1 by x power m? 1 divided by 1 by x power m can be written as what? X power m. So finally, what do we conclude? 1 by x whole to the power of minus m means that we can write it directly x to the power of minus m. Okay. If you have x to the power of minus m, x to the power of minus m value is what? 1 by x to the power of m. 1 by x whole to the power of minus m value is what? X to the power of m. Right? Here you can see that 1 by 2. So what is this? Here you can take that 1 by x whole to the power of minus m is equal to x to the power of m. Okay. For example, if I have that 1 by 2 whole to the power of minus 4, then it can be written as what? This x value, which means the denominator value you can directly take. This minus m value we can write it as what? Plus m. Okay. So it becomes plus 4. Now you tell me this 1 by 2 whole to the power of minus 6 means that it is exactly like 1 by x whole to the power of minus m, right? Then x to the power of m. All these values are in the form of 1 by x whole to the power of minus m. Now you tell me the values. What is this value? 2 power 6. What is 2 power 6 value? 64. Okay. 2 power 6 value is nothing but 64. Next. 4 power minus 1 by 4 whole to the power of minus 3 means that what? We can write it as 4 cube. 4 cube value is what? 64. Next, 1 by 3 whole to the power of minus 4 means that what? 3 power 4. 3 power 4 value is what? 81. Next, this value is what? 6 square. 6 square is what? 36. So, what we supposed to find out? The largest number. Which is the largest number? 81. 81 means that option C. Option C is the correct one. Yes, it's option C. Okay, so we need to know the property. This property, if you know the property, we can do it. Right? Right. So now, we take some example from the directions topic. A simple question. It's related to the logical reasoning. A man walks 50 km towards south and then he takes right turn. There he covers 30 km and he again takes right turn and walk 3.5. Then he takes right turn, then covers 30 kilometers. So finally, how far and in which direction is he from the starting point? Okay. This question is related to the direction. Every year we have minimum 2 questions from this topic, directions. One of the easiest topics in the CSAT, logical reasoning question, directions problem. So if you want to do any problem in the direction, related to the direction, only simply, in a simple way, generally you know the directions, right? So this is north direction and this is south direction and this is east, west. Okay. But what about right and left? Right and left means that here if you start that right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Okay. So starting from here, right and then left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Okay, ma? Right. Suppose if I take it like this, if a man is moving towards east direction means that what? So if it is the starting point, east direction means that towards this direction, north means that towards this, west means that towards this direction, south means that towards this direction, right? Suppose if a man is moving towards east direction, let's say that he is moving towards this east direction, then he takes right turn. Right turn represents what? Right is down, right? So we have to draw it like this, right? Maximum 99% is all the directions problem can be solved by using this simple diagram, right? Now let's look at this question. Now what we required from the directions problem is, so what is the distance and in which direction he is moving? So only we'll have to consider those words. Suppose if you take that the first direction is what? South direction and then 50 kilometers. You can start from any point. Let's say that suppose if we start from this point, This is the starting point. Okay. First he moves towards which direction? South direction. How many kilometers? 50 kilometers. Okay. And then he takes right turn. He takes right turn. Now he is moving towards which direction? South direction. In the south direction, right represents which direction? This direction, right? West, towards west. How many kilometers now he is moving? 30 kilometers. Let me draw it like this. 30 kilometers. Okay. Next what? And again takes right turn. Now he is moving towards which direction? West direction. For west direction, right means that what? R represents towards up. R is top. L means that left. Left is bottom, means that we move down. R means that R is here, north direction. Okay. How many meters? 3.5 meters. See, while drawing it, make sure that the distance, this is 50 kilometers. Now we are drawing only 3.5 kilometers, means that somewhere we draw it like this till this point. Then he takes right turn. Now he is moving which direction? Towards north direction. Towards north direction. Here right turn means that what? Right turn means that towards east. How many kilometers? 30 kilometers. See, 30 kilometers means that the distance between these 2 points is 30, means that again the distance between these 2 points is what? 30 only. Okay. So this is his final point. Now how far and in which direction is he from the starting point? If you look at how far and in which direction is he from the starting point? This is the starting point and this is the final point. First of all, in which direction is he from the starting point? He is standing here and he is looking at here. Okay, final point, which means that towards south he is looking, right? The direction is south direction. How much distance? As you know that the complete distance is what? The distance between these 2 points is what? 50. The complete distance is 50. And also what is the distance between these 2 points? 3.5. I can say that the distance between these 2 points also 3.5. Then if this complete distance is 50 and if this distance is 3.5, then remaining distance is what? 50 minus 3.5, 46.5. So answer is south and 46.5 kilometers. Is some 46.5 south, it's not east. 46.5 south. Clear amount? 46.5 kilometers towards south. Okay. So almost a 99% directions problem. So you can solve it by using this simple diagram. So one of the easiest topics we have it in the CSAT. Every year minimum we have minimum 2 questions from this topic. Okay, so let's, this is related to the coding and decoding, another important topic. It is given the letters from A to Z are numbered from 1 to 26. GHI is coded as 1578, DEF is coded as 912. Then what is ABC is coded? See here it is given that GHI code is what? GHI is 1578. The code for DEF is 912. Right. The code for DEF is 912. Then how is ABC will be coded? So what is the value of ABC? So this is related to the coding and decoding. Coding and decoding. In coding and decoding, so we must have to remember that letters and numbers. Like, so we have the letters from A to Z, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, right? A1, B2, starting from the letters. A to Z letters, when you give the numbers, A is 1, B2, C3, D4, E5 likewise. When we give the numbers, F7, G, okay? 7. Likewise if you, so you have to remember these letters and numbers only. Okay, so the trick I will tell you in the classes, so you can easily remember this. Okay, so generally when we do the coding and decoding or letter series problems, we require to remember the letters and numbers. Okay, the corresponding numbers to the letters. If you look at the GHI, okay, what is the number we can write for G? 7. For H? 8. I? 9. Okay. Now generally if I give the numbers to GHI, we'll get 789. From this we need to get 1578. Think the logic. So how do we get 1578? There is one more clue we have. D, E, F. D number is what? 4. E number is what? 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. How do you get 912? For any one of these two, if you get a logic, then automatically we can find out for ABC. See, from 789 we have to get 1578. Same logic if you apply for 4, 5, 6, we'll get 912. Then ABC. For ABC, by applying the same logic, what do you get? Think, how do you get 1578 from 789? And similarly, how do you get 912 from 456? From 456, we need to get 912. From 789, we need to get 1578. See, approximately, you just observation is important. So, you just have to look at the numbers carefully. Observation is important. 4, 5, 6, 9, 1. So, okay, this is a big number. At least you take this number 4, 5, 6, 9, 1, 2. 4 plus 5, 9. 6 into 2. Suppose if you take estimates into 2, correct? Good. 450, even you don't need to go for the complete exact values, at least if you go for the approximation also, that's fine. 450, suppose if you take that, double the number 900, you come to an idea, right? So which means that suppose if you multiply with 2, 456 into 2, so the value is what? 912. So 2 6 is 12 and 2 5 is 10 plus 1, 11, 2 4 is 1 plus 1, 8 plus 1 is what? 912. 456 when you multiply with 2, so we will get 912, and similarly 789 if you multiply with 2, we get 1578. So what is the logic? First we give the letters, first you give the letters, numbers, and then multiply with 2. So ABC means that what? ABC means that 1 2 3. So 1 2 3 multiply with 2, 246. So answer is what? 246. Is the answer. Okay. So likewise we have the questions. Like I just randomly took some problems and I show you that. In this way we have the question. Okay. So once again I'll tell you that the importance of CSAT. Don't neglect the CSAT. Okay. Just because it is qualifying papers mostly, so you may just have taken it very lightly, but only you will realize after prelims is over. Okay, so you start your preparation from day one only. Just spend that half an hour to 45 minutes. If you are a non-math student, if you are very weak in mathematics, okay, then you spend 1 hour minimum, right? If you have any doubts, you can ask me anytime. So once if the classes, after starting the classes, once if we start the classes, again, I will start from the basics. So because basics are very, very important. From the basics only we will get the concepts. If you are strong at the concept, you can able to do it any problem. Okay. So ask me if you have any doubts. Doubling is nothing but 78 plus 789. That is into 2, mathematical meaning is what? Doubling, right? 78 plus 78 plus 789 is nothing but 789 into 2. Both are same, both logics are same. Of course, if you get that one, that's true. Correct, okay? Is it clear to everyone?